Hello there, welcome to Introduction to Economics. So before we start off into the topic for today, I would like to give a small introduction about myself. I'm a high school student and this is my first video on YouTube, so feel free to give me your comments and I'll be really glad to work on them. Now, what is economics? A lot of people have different perceptions of economics, but it always travels along and gravitates towards these fields of study. Well, none of it is wrong because economics is an interesting intersection of all these fields of study. It has a really innate connection to understanding human patterns, and it is the intersection between sciences like math and mathematical modeling, statistics, and humanities where we discover about humans, human patterns, and so on. Now, why economics? Why is economics even important? Why is economics even a thing? Why is it arising? So there is this central problem of economics which revolves around scarcity. So as you may know, scarcity is unlimited human wants and needs, but we only have limited resources to fulfill these unlimited wants and needs. And this is the reason why a lot of countries, especially third world countries, are experiencing issues such as poverty and famine because they are unable to fulfill the needs and wants of their citizens. Now, this acronym called CEL, which stands for Capital, Entrepreneurship, Land and Labor, is really important in economics. It refers to the key factors of production. So, what are factors of production? Think of it as really important things, really important equipment that you should hold on to so as to perform an activity. So for example, capital. Many people will think of capital as money. However, capital actually refers to technology, machinery, and for example, equipment used in factories to produce things. Entrepreneurship refers to the entrepreneurial skill, to the business management skill. For example, holding an MBA could be a testament to entrepreneurial skill. Next, land. We need land. Why? For example, we need to grow agricultural crops. And for that, we need land. Now, labor. Labor refers to manpower. We need people to carry out tasks. For example, in factories, we need factory workers and we need employees to perform certain tasks. Now, economics involves key economic agents. That includes consumers. For example, I go to a shop and I want to buy a cake. I become a consumer because I demand something. The shopkeeper who sells the cake is the producer because they're supplying to me something. And between consumers and producers, governments are the ones who form the central authority to regulate various things such as regulate prices or regulate quantity. They act as this authority to control and regulate processes that happen between consumers and producers. Now, there are two types of economics, normative and positive. Normative is like factual statements. So for example, if I say, with a higher income, people consume more. That is a factual statement because it can be proven. It can be proven that with higher disposable incomes, people will have higher purchasing power and hence will have higher ability to consume goods and services. Whereas for positive economics, it is something that we are unable to prove or disprove. For example, if I say the government should subsidize the production of cars, it is a statement that is, I wouldn't say really hypothetical because hypothetical statements can be proven right or wrong. In this case, this statement cannot be proven right or wrong. It is more like a word of saying that people just say without any valid grounds or justification. Now, micro and macroeconomics are also two ways of looking at economics. The microeconomic view is a magnified view of the economy where you look individually at producers, consumers, and the government. Whereas for the macroeconomic view is the overall view, the entire economy and even beyond. You even look at foreign sectors, the external economy. Thus, the macro is a view that you will get after stepping back, whereas the micro is investigating the individual sections, the individual sectors of the economy. There are also various types of economies. There is the free market economy. So the free market economy acts by the forces of demand and supply. It is as postulated by economist Adam Smith that acts according to the invisible hand. There is nothing controlling it except the market forces of demand and supply, which we'll look at the forthcoming video. There is also the command economy. The command economy is something that the state regulates, that is controlled, and it's heavily regulated by the government, for example. There is also the mixed economy, where there is some public interference and there is some private interference. So it is not entirely public or entirely private, but a mix of both. The key economic questions that we want to answer, that includes, what do you want to produce? Do you want to produce computer chips? Do you want to produce phones? Do you want to produce food? Do you want to produce furniture? Anything of that sort. How much would you like to produce? This refers to the quantity, the amount of thing that you like to produce. Do you want to produce 2 kilograms? Do you want to produce 10 kilograms? So anything of that sort. How to produce? This refers to the process. Do you want to produce it using automated machinery? Do you want to engage labor? How are you going to go about producing it? Next up, for whom do you want to produce it? Do you want to produce it for consumers? Of course, it will be consumers, but it seems really nebulous to just tag it as consumers. What kind of consumers? Do you want to produce it for middle class consumers? Do you want to produce it for high-end consumers? Do you want to produce for millennials? Do you want to produce for teenagers? So it could be segregated in terms of their age, in terms of their purchasing power, in terms of their likes and dislikes, and things like that. The concept of opportunity cost is really central in economics. We may not realize it, but it's extremely pervasive in our lives. But we encounter it in an unconscious fashion. So for example, if you have 2 hours and you could allocate it between watching TV and playing video games and doing homework. If you decide to make the choice of doing homework, the value of the next best alternative foregone here is the time that you have spent playing games or watching the TV. Now, a similar example is provided here. Let's imagine that you have a bucket list of things that you desire to purchase. That includes a car, a house, a hedge of any sort. And the payslip that you have is only $32,000. It seems really hard to accommodate all these desires within that single payslip. This means that you have to make the choice of prioritizing one of your bucket list options and forego the rest, at least temporarily. In this case, it would be wisest to buy hedges and forego the car and the house. So the value of the next best alternative foregone, then the choice of making a hedge or buying a hedge is made is foregoing a car and a house. So this is a bird's eye view of all the fundamental concepts that we have covered in this video. I hope it has been helpful, and if you have more comments that you would like me to read, kindly let me know your feedback. Thank you. And this is a summary of what we have done today. If you would like, you could take a screen grab of this. See you in the next video. Thank you.